Hello, everybody. Yo, how is it going? So, I am back after a short break. Let me do some audio check real quick. Let me just pop. Good enough. Sweet. All right. So, this is going to be kind of the new podcast, like I mentioned on the review earlier of Outer Worlds. Um, I'm going to kind of go down what the format is, and this one isn't going to change that much. You'll see my face, and if there are like more people, you'll see them over here. I'll figure out a way to change the camera. But as for right now, there are no guests. We also might have Discord guests, but since this is the first one, it's just going to kind of be like a test run, and we're going to go from there. Other than that, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. I mean, you'll see me, and the audio will be run from this, at least for the time being. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And we're going to be talking about the same stuff, essentially. We'll be going through game news. Today, it's going to be all about Diablo 4. And I need to get my mouse where it is. Diablo 4 and the upcoming, well, I guess you could call them upcoming, but next gen titles. So, per the usual, we're going to talk about the upcoming games. Then we'll talk about some gaming news and stuff. And then I'll give you some life updates and some Oni games / Oni plays updates. Oh, excuse me. I've been drinking on these, and they are killer for when it comes to like burping and shit. But also, what's cool is you guys can interact with me on the chat, and we can just kind of talk. You know what I mean? So these will be happening once a month, just like the podcast was, and they'll just go for however long, and they'll be posted on YouTube. But what's cool is now I can have this actively up, and I can just show you guys the information I'm talking about. So when I stutter or can't talk, you can read around. So let's go through the releases for the month of October, which just passed. This is all courtesy of Game Informer's website. That's the website I typically use. I have a subscription to them. Heart goes out to all the employees fired recently in the work cut. Love you guys, love your work. Always have been a big fan for my whole life. But anyway. October, we've got some. What are the big names here? Let's look. We've got Destiny 2 Shadowkeep that came out on the 1st. Ghost Recon Breakpoint came out on the 4th. That came out for the 4, the 1, the Stadia, and the PC. The Stadia I haven't seen much for, which I'm kind of surprised to see that on the list. Trine 4 came out. If you're into that kind of game. You got Frostpunk being released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on the 11th. That's kind of went under the radar. That's a cool. I guess it's like a tactical simulator game. It's definitely worth a try if you're into like the whole Civ thing and all that. Got world building aspects. Overwatch came out on the Switch on the 15th. I did not pick that up actually. Same with The Witcher, also out for the Switch. Let's see. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes Edition. That came out for the PS4 and the PC October 17th. That was a game that came out for, I believe that was the Wii U version. That might have been the Switch. But it's pretty good. Surprised that it got a PS4 release, to be completely honest. I didn't think it really warranted that. Let's see. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That came out on the 24th, same as Outer Worlds and Medieval. Now, the Medieval here is a re-release of a PlayStation Classic game. It was like a hack and slash. You played as an undead dude. Really cool classic game. And then Outer Worlds, which you've seen me streaming. It's a wonderful game made by Obsidian. It's like an RPG of sorts. And everybody knows what Call of Duty Modern Warfare is. If you don't, you've lived under a rock for the past decade and a half. Following that, we have Harvest Moon Mad Dash being released for the PS4 and Switch on October 29th. Both Resident Evil 5 and 6 coming out for the Switch. Switch is getting a lot of love. I really appreciate that. It also saw a release of Vampire on the 29th and aptly Luigi's Mansion on the 31st. Now that was just October, so let's see what's going on in November. This month, we have the Olympic Games Tokyo coming to the Switch on November 5th. Also interesting, Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to the PC on November 5th as well. We have Death Stranding, the long-awaited Hideo Kojima title that also has, I bloody hell, I can't remember his name, but there is a very famous actor, very bad at actor names, that is in that. He was on The Walking Dead. I can't Norman something, whatever. That comes out November 8th and is definitely something that if you're into the Metal Gear franchise, you should check out. It has been long awaited by fans of Hideo Kojima's work. We have, let's see, Pokemon Sword and Shields coming out November 15th. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting Sword even if the enemy looks like a boss from Dark Souls. It looks cool. Unfortunately, or fortunately, on the same day, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order comes out for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And if you remember, that is the Star Wars game that got footage in E3 where you got to you got very finite control of the Force powers and how your character is built. And then I guess there's also a Civ release. And I mean, okay, so Civ releases on PS4, cool. And Shenmue, not a big fan of that series, but I shouldn't neglect them because I know that this is like a cult classic that has been waiting for a long time. That comes out on the PS4 and the PC November 19th. Where is Doom? I believe Doom has a release date. Let's check on that, guys. Let's check on that. Doom release. Doom. Wait a minute. Yeah, November 22nd. Doom Eternal is going to be released November 22nd. I'm glad I looked that up. I was about to say that's some bullshit. So, yeah, cuz I'll be buying Doom. Any fans of like old school shooters or like just the most recent Doom game, highly recommend this. Like would definitely pick that up 10 out of 10. But those are the notable releases. I mean, I'm gonna just like low key scroll through this again so you guys can see everything that's come out and is going to come out. But yeah, it's been really eventful. I mean, it always is this time of year, right? October, November, December, essentially the holiday season is the big time for releases. And then after that, there's a bit of a, well, even into January some years, really. But then there's kind of a lull into the spring and summer, and then it comes back fall, winter, you know? So, I guess load up on games now and play through them, or you can sparse it out and, buy one a month or however much you can afford. But I always hate the off season. Especially you can see like the difference. October had so many and November has so few. I feel like it's gonna be less and less and less and less. All right, so now let's talk about, oh god, ads. Fuck these ads. Look at all this nonsense bullshit. So this is on Tech Radar. You can see all that, is right there. I'm not going to list it in the description or anything because it's going to be visible throughout the entire stream. But this is Tech Radar. It's talking about Diablo 4. So I watched the Diablo 4 trailers. I think I'll get in trouble if I show them, especially for like reposting to YouTube and all that. The YouTube's kind of really crazy about it. So I'm not going to show the trailers, but if you want to, definitely check them out. You can, Google Diablo 4 release trailer, cinematic trailer, gameplay trailer, whatever, and you'll get what you're looking for. But this is it's a pretty comprehensive article that the guys at Tech Radar, girls at Tech Radar, the people at Tech Radar wrote. They basically detailed that the game's going to be coming out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, which is great because a lot of people were worried that it was going to be an iOS only kind of thing. It's going to be a lot of the same, it sounds like. If any of you guys don't know what Diablo is, it's a top-down action-adventure game, kind of RPG, where you play as one of several heroes that you select early on, and you build them up and loot through dungeons, and you fight demons and all that kind of stuff. There's an overarching story, but we don't need to go too heavily in detail there. It just has to do with demons and Diablo and hell and all that shit. So here's the trailer, the announcement cinematic and the gameplay trailer. Again, we're not going to play them, but they are readily available with a simple Google search. So there is no release date, unfortunately. I'm not surprised. I mean, we're basically just getting updates now, so it's like you can't really expect them to give anything right now because, again, it was unveiled in it's saying BlizzCon 2019 November 1st, so that was fucking yesterday. There's no way they're going to give us that much. That said, they did tell us, obviously, what consoles it's going to be on, and they told us that they're bringing back the Barbarian, which is a staple. You're going to get the Sorceress, no surprise, also a staple. But this time we're also getting the Druid. And it's I mean, it's essentially what you think a druid is. But here's the cool thing: in the gameplay trailer, you get to see one where he's surrounded by enemies and he's like fighting them off with an axe or whatever the fuck, and he just turns into a bear, fights a few of them off, and then morphs back into his form, which looks like a very interesting way to play. You can see this is some of the sorceress gameplay. She can do like AoE freeze damage, and then also make spells that like do circle damage. If you've ever played as a sorcerer or a mage in the Diablo franchise, it's the same thing. Um, the art, it looks similar. I mean, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But it looks similar to any other Diablo game or any other of these like third-person action games, to be completely honest. I mean, it's beautiful. It looks like it's well done and well thought out, but it doesn't seem to be like changing anything. Um, Here's another good picture of, I don't believe, yeah, this is Diablo 3. So this is just some change in the perspective. This is not how I would choose to play Diablo, but some people like to zoom in on their characters, which is a function, not to this degree, but like it's just not my shit. Let's see. Then we've got, I guess this article goes on to explain differences between Diablo 2 and I guess projects that are going on outside of Diablo 4, but I didn't go beyond, I'd say, about like, yeah. This is about where I stopped when I was reading through it. Again, super hype on this game. I mean, if you're a big fan of Diablo, then like you've got to be hyped. Look at this shit; it's beautiful. Like this was cinematic trailer material. It's fucking. I'm so excited to play it. I've been playing. I think I own Diablo 3 on like 4 different consoles, my PC and a few other ones. A lot. I'm a huge fanboy. Other big news that has come out this past, I guess it was this past month. Let's see, it was 25 days ago, so it was over the course of October, yeah. Was PS5 release date, well, release ballpark, let's say. So Sony finally came out and told us that PS5 is coming out. It is going to be called PS5. They also confirmed that they got the patent for like the next 5 PlayStations. So like PS6, 7, 8, and 9. It's ridiculous. There was some kind of cinematic. I don't know how legit it was, but so you got to see, we got that. They said it would be launched. Oh, they did give an actual date. They said the 12th of February 2020. Now, what I heard and what this article goes on to say is it's going to be on the holiday season 2020, and that wouldn't surprise me if they had to push it back or something. I'm gonna just cut to the skinny of a lot of these. Yes, it will support 8K video up to a certain degree. The native drivers for it almost kind of run it, and that's only important to like the nitty gritty kind of person. I'm not too keen on getting into the hardwares of my consoles. Now, if I'm building a computer, it's completely different, right? But like, if it's my console, it's my console. I know I'm kind of accepting having limitations by using a console. Does not really matter. Yeah. So this is this concept art's been floating around, and I really would love to know you guys' opinion on it because woof, I think this is ugly as fuck. Like I really, really do. I think this is a gross, gross, gross little thing. And I'm hoping it's not. It doesn't look like that because it doesn't make any sense to me. Why do you need this? Is this like a giant coolant system? Why do you need this here? Why is there a giant hole? I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical. It is definitely PSVR compatible. Not surprising since that's like the new thing. You know what I mean? So for all my heavy VR gamers, of which I am actually not right now, you're definitely gonna be able to continue using and continue playing, and obviously that means they're gonna continue to develop for it. Though I figured that was kind of a given. No PS5 games announced. Usually you expect like a what's that one game? Is a Sackboy game? Something like that, or like how we got Knack with the PS4 when it first came out. But whatever. They are definitely some game companies, like I know CD Projekt Red, like the developers of Cyberpunk, they came out and said that, yeah, we're developing for next-gen consoles too, so that means it's probably going to be on the PS5. The cool thing is it is going to definitely be backwards compatible, which is something that you always want to know, right? Because like I have a catalog of PS4 games that like I might still want to play. And if God forbid my PS4 dies, I'd love to not have to search out a new one and just be able to play a PS5, for example. By the way, if you're not on this Cyberpunk like 2077 hype, you're not about me. Like real talk. That game looks amazing. It's like Outer Worlds is getting me through and it's a wonderful game, don't get me wrong, but when Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, I'm just going to lock myself in my room with like a phone and some fucking food, and I'm just not going to leave until I beat it. Like I'm serious. I'm just going to have like nonstop energy drinks just knocking him back. I'll live stream the whole shit. It'll be gross. Yeah, and so they're speculating that the price is going to be around like $500, $600, which is reasonable, surprising for the PS5. Like I expected it to be at least 1,000. Like just with how like everything's being, the price difference will be, yeah. So like I expected it to be like something crazy, but no, 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 no. Just a reasonable price. I don't know what that flash was. Maybe my HDMI is being weird. Um, but all right. So, and of course, we can't talk about the PS5 without talking about Xbox Project Scarlett, which is way more difficult to say than PS5. So I'm just gonna call it Xbox from now on. So let's talk about the new Xbox. Again, I believe that it said that it will be coming out in the holidays of 2020. Yeah, there it is. Boom. It will support 8K video, which isn't that surprising considering most of the current Xboxes have a limited support of 8K video. Apparently, I read that in the previous article. Um, they're not really, I mean, they're being tight-lipped, understandably, right? It will have a 4K Blu-rays. Oh, I'm sorry, I mixed that up. So yes, it will support 8K video, but the Xbox One currently doesn't. The Xbox One currently supports 4K Blu-ray drive, which the PS4 does not, but the PS5 should. So sorry about that confusion. As for the games, apparently Halo Infinite will be designed and engineered for this. That's not surprising considering Xbox is like Halo is to Xbox as fucking what? I don't know. Uncharted is to PlayStation. I'm not really sure. They've kind of gone through a lot of franchises that haven't lasted or quite had the life of Halo. But let's see. Yes, of course they did mention backwards compatibility. I think that's always very important to bring up. And this, specifically for the Xbox, it said that there will be 4 generations backwards. So you're talking Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox, and I have no idea what was before that. And then I guess the present system. So like the fucking Scarlett or whatever it ends up finally being called. And again, this has a similar price range. So you're thinking $500-$600 or pounds, what have you. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all, to be completely honest. These were surprisingly within, I guess, what I would call my price range, right? So that's pretty much that on the gaming news. I'm gonna pull up a project real quick, show you guys some of the stuff that I've been working on. I mean, this will be up on the Instagram at some point here soon, but we'll just pop it up while we talk about, the future and all the stuff that's, I'm gonna be working on. So you guys know who this is. This is the snail from Adventure Time. He's a waving boy. I made him just because I was kind of bored. But so Oni Games. Let's talk about Oni Games. Snail from Adventure Time. So basically, I'm gonna be going back to school, right? That's kind of what's gonna be happening. So during that time, I will probably release a few games. But it will not be anywhere near as frequent. And what I mean by that is like I made a checkers game, and a few other games over the course of about like, what was it, like 6 months to to what, 3/4 of a year, somewhere around there, right? And I don't think I need either of those. And I'm just not going to be able to keep up with that pace and do school and streaming and all this other stuff. Now, I'm not saying I'm quitting anything. I'm just making you guys aware that kind of in order, I have to take a step back before I continue forward, and really start to produce, I guess, the quality of products that I want to make. I want to duplicate this whole thing. Can I duplicate the whole thing? Yes. Snail from AT final. Now, so what that's going to really look like is you're going to see a lot more art posts and then just updates on like what I'm learning in coding as opposed to games. I'll also actually mentioning games. I have deleted the maze from my website because, to be quite frank with you, I wasn't able to find a solution to the coding error I ran into. This is hence why I need to go to school. And also, I just wasn't very happy with the final product. I felt as though, I guess it was really the story. I just hadn't paid enough. Oops, I hadn't paid enough attention to the story to make it any good. That's the only way I know how to put it. It just didn't flow. It was more like a series of episodic moments, which wasn't what I was going for whatsoever. So while I learned a lot from that, I am not going to be releasing it beyond that beta that is available. Um, it's probably best, to be completely honest, to like merge all of these down. I wonder if I can just flatten, if it'll let me do that. I thought there was, but I think I have to. Son of a bitch. But anyway, so you're gonna see a lot more art and like animations or like asset packs that are gonna be on the way to a game. They like that I might eventually turn into a game. Um, that said, still keep following me because I'm gonna be making it. It's still gonna be coming out. It's just, again, it's gonna be a little slower than you're used to, I guess. The next project is still the I guess you'd call it a Fire Emblem like, but I have to come up with some ideas for how I want the characters to be. Right now, I'm kind of working on one that's based off of some kind of, I think I'm gonna go with like Odysseus, like a Greco-Roman kind of feel. Um, but I'm not 100% on it. I really want it to be natural and not like forced, I guess. Because I felt like with the last one there was a lot of like, it was very, very forced. It felt very oops, I need to cut it. Shit. Shit. Um and the idea just didn't flow. The animations were decent, but when I went to like getting more, damn it. Paste. We'll fucking cut. Shit. Guys, I'm already fucking up. But I was thinking about doing a wave, but so yeah, basically you're just gonna be seeing more art and less game work done. It'll be a lot more along the lines of like, hey guys, I just created this asset. You're like, I've been working on this asset pack. And then it'll, interspersed with, oh, I just took this in college and it was a bitch. Now, speaking of college, I'm going back to school and I'm getting a degree in coding, specific programming, or well, I guess information technology, and I'm focusing on programming. Um, I'm doing it because I've found it difficult. That's why I was screwing up. I found it difficult to find opportunity, I guess, in this industry without a degree. I think I misunderstood that. Actually, you know what would be a good idea? I think I thought that just my passion alone would allow me, entry in, and I am very passionate. I think I'm more passionate than your average person, but one person from Glue really kind of woke me up to the reality that people that want to make games are inherently passionate about this. Of course they are, because you have to be. And so I really need to get the skills to pay the bills. Otherwise, I'm not. I'm not that different really from anyone else within the industry. So you know, we're just gonna have to go back to school. It's not the end of the world, but it's got to get done. I've already registered for class, or not registered for classes, but I've already gotten into college, and I'm going to be registering for classes here soon. So I've got the ball rolling, so to speak. I just have to, why does that look off color wise? It is off color wise. I've already got the ball rolling, so to speak. It's just now I have to get it done. So we'll be getting it done, and then I will keep you guys posted as to when we graduate and if we get some opportunities afterwards. Um, so obviously, I just appreciate your patience, both with the stream and everything else that's been going on. And know that I'm working really hard to make good content for y'all. Okay, wait a minute. Did I fuck up here? I feel like I need to make one more. So we're gonna duplicate this 2 more times. And this middle one, yeah, this has to be bigger. But yeah, so you're gonna see a lot more art. You're gonna see a lot more art. You're gonna see a lot more updates about school, and that's pretty much it. That's gonna be all I really talk about. So I guess from here on out, I'll probably just be screwing around with this snail and bullshitting. I will say I've found it kind of hard to remain inspired about projects. I think that's an issue with a lot of artists is like you start something and you get like halfway through it and you're like, yeah, this is good, but I have this idea to do X, Y, or Z, and you forget about the project at hand. And I'm not like I know that shit happens, but I'm kind of I'm salty. Oh, excuse me, because some of the stuff I was working on was real good, and then I just lost passion about it, and it's got me kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Because, oof, did I screw something up here? I feel like I screwed something up here. So I'm trying to remain focused too. Like shit. Yeah, I'm trying to remain focused on these things, and take my time. Like let inspiration hit me so that the ideas I'm coming up with are good, because I feel like especially with this last really with this last one, that was the big issue for me. Like, okay, wait a fucking minute. I'm so confused. No, I was right the first time. Um but like really with this last attempt to do the Fire Emblem thing, I just like I didn't give it the proper love and attention that it needed, and in so doing I spent a lot of time with making just a really subpar product. Like not even like yeah, well it is ultimately a product, isn't it? But like a subpar design. It was just a bad design through and through. So like I think the secret is or at least my theory, I guess, is the secret is to just kind of let the inspiration come as it comes, and not force it, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. I'm not really sure what to say beyond that. Um, I want to make this arch more prominent. So I feel like if I do this, oops, it'll make it seem like a much more prominent, like, fucking bend. Oops. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe this last one needs to be changed. Maybe this one should be there. But yeah, I think really just like making things that I want to make, even if they're stupid, like this thing that I'm making right now. Um, like it shows in the product, right? Like it's just a higher quality product because you care about it, or you wanted to make it at the very least. You didn't just do it because you were like, well, I started working on this and now I have to finish it, otherwise. Or like, oh well, I set this arbitrary deadline and now I need to make this subpar product because if I don't, I'm going to let myself down, let fans down, whatever. Not like I'm fucking Mr. Beast over here with a million billion fans. Speaking of, actually, bringing up Mr. Beast, everyone that has the means should totally go and donate to the cause that he set up, because it's fucking awesome. He's trying to plant 20 million trees by the end of the year. It is a dope cause. I highly recommend. I highly support it. It's a great idea. I will be doing I'm gonna delete this background layer because we're gonna turn this into an animation. But C1. I will be doing, instead of, I was talking about doing a stream for animals earlier in the month, and I was going to do it in November, but instead I have decided to do something to help with that, something related to that, where we will all be donating to Team Tree. The idea right now is for every new for every new follower, I will donate $5. And after like, I don't know, a certain amount, I'll donate $1 for every new follower. And then I'll also have somewhere on this overlay, I will have the link that you guys can go to, and I will change the donation section to to teamtree.org. So that, look out for that. It'll be all over social media before before I do it, obviously. Let's see. Yeah, guys, see, look, he's waving. Let's, oh shit, I'm gonna have to scale all of these, aren't I? Let's see, I wonder if I can scale, like, the whole, fuck. Scale image. What's 5 times 64? Does anybody know off the top of their head? I think 320 is somehow divisible by 64, I'm not sure. Well, last time I think I multiplied it by a factor of 3, so let's just do that. Times 3 is 192, so we'll just keep it square, because that makes life easier. We need it to be non-cubic, and we'll scale it. And is that all of them? See, the thing that scares me is it's got to be all of them, because it's, oh shit. It is all of them. Dope. I hope you guys will be able to see this better. But anyway, yeah, so it's going to be a lot of stuff like this little cute dude, and like updates on the games I'm making and all that. But like, boom. See how he's cutely doing that? And then we can up it to like, I don't know, 30 FPS. We'll stop it. Yeah, boom. He's like, hey guys, how's it going? I'm creepy. If we make it real fast, we can probably 60 frames per second. Let's see. Boom. Actually, I think for some reason I like 72 FPS. No, it's a little too aggressive, right? I think 30 might have been the right look. Yeah. Yeah. And let's see. Holy crap, that's really aggro. Nah, I think 1. Honestly, 1 at 30 frames per second is good. So there you go, guys. I'm going to kind of probably end the podcast on this note. It's been a lot of fun making this with you guys and just telling you what's going on. So don't forget, obviously, all the games. You can scroll back and watch it because I can't fucking remember. All I remember is, what is it? Star Wars is coming out on the 15th. Pokemon is coming out on the 15th. And Doom is coming out on the 22nd. All of those are in November. And the PS5 and the Xbox 360, they'll be coming out holidays 2020. Also, yeah, so also, updates on Oni games, where obviously art's going to be real heavy for the next, let's say, about a year and a half. Maybe one game if we're lucky. Maybe, well, one game, maybe 2 games if you're super duper lucky, will be coming out in that time. But you'll get to see a lot of cool art because that'll be the focus outside of school, and you'll just see updates on all the coding and all that nonsense. And then we made little, Smiley Dude. So it's been a lot of fun, guys. This is going to be the new format for podcasts going forward, and I really hope you like it, because, yeah, this is going to be it. So maybe next time we can get some chat going, we can talk and all that. But it's been fun. I'll see y'all. Peace.